Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Kelly Sparks, aka Red Beard. So, the reason why I have my hands clasped in front of me weird-like is because I am actually warming my whiskey. So, I said in the previous video that I'm going to be using the Murray method of tasting predominantly for the foreseeable future, for whatever reasons. Some of you might know. But anyway, I'm going to turn this a little bit so I can read it. Today we're going to start this method with the Western Son Texas Bourbon Whiskey. And this is single barrel. This one is batch number 14, bottle number 91. This one is bottled at 90 proof. This is made by a friend of mine. I call him a friend. I don't know his middle name, so he's not a good friend, but he's definitely a friend. His name's Vincent. He works at the Western Son Distillery, and they are predominantly a vodka distilling company. They make quite a few vodkas, different flavored stuff and whatnot, but recently they started putting out their own single barrel bourbon and just different bourbon, I think. Well, this one, I'm gonna hold it tight so I can warm it, hold it under my beard. So this one was matured, what does that say, in a 30-gallon barrel in Palate, Texas. It says, using the finest ingredients available, Western Son Distillery delivers a limited release of its Texas single barrel bourbon whiskey. The process began with a mash bill consisting of 68% Texas and Midwest corn, 22% Canadian rye, and finally complemented with a 10% mixture of two-row malted barley. The mash was fermented and then distilled in a 600-gallon copper pot still. The distillate was transferred into a new American white oak barrel that was charred to a level 3. Upon reaching maturity, each barrel was blended with Texas aquifer water and filled into a specifically numbered bottle. Each bottle correlates to a specific batch that was handcrafted by Western Son Distillery. The entire process from milling, mashing, fermenting, distilling, barreling, aging, blending, and filling of each bottle carefully crafted Western Son single barrel bourbon whiskey. That delivers a mixture. Oh, I don't want to read the tasting notes. So, with that said, I'm going to go ahead. I think I've warmed it enough. The house is not too cold right now. So, what I spoke on briefly, not too briefly, in the last video about chilled whiskey. And I know other nose itches, coronavirus. Other channels have spoken about the effects of chilling the whiskey, probably in depth. But if you chill your whiskey, it's going to mute the flavors. So if you really want to get all of the flavors, and I don't look down on people who put ice in their whiskey, or if they want to make it into a cocktail, but I would suggest that you warm the whiskey up for a few minutes with your hands. We're almost at 5 minutes. So I would say warm it up for at least 5 minutes if it's in a room temperature house in a similar tulip style glass as I'm using, and you will be able to discern the flavors a lot better. So from that point, you can actually figure out how best you would possibly like that whiskey, whether you want to drink it neat, whether you want to drink it on ice, if it's too hot, if it's too mellow, or if it's too flavorful, you can mute it down a little bit, or if you want to just use it in a cocktail. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to, you hush your mouth, try to recreate the Murray method of tasting that I learned last year at the Texas Bourbon Shootout, and I'm probably not going to do it justice, and y'all are going to get to watch me spit out my whiskey and go from there. So, first things first, he does not recommend, and mind you, I'm pulling all of this out of memory. This by no way is licensed or supported by Jim Murray himself. So this is just a recreation of the original. So he does not recommend putting your nose all the way into the glass. And here's the type of glass I'm using. So he recommends this type. If you can find something like this, it's a very short, like almost a Copita style nosing glass. Will you quit whining? You know, but he does recommend just to briefly move the whiskey in and out and try not to drown your nasal capacity in your nasal passages with the alcohol. So there's definitely, it's sweet. There's maybe some dark fruit notes in there, but that's all I'm kind of getting. Yeah, definitely maybe a little bit of chocolate, but already starting to make my mouth salivate. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a sip, and I'm gonna swish it around. I'm gonna do the whole procedure, and then I'm gonna spit it into my spittoon, and we'll get some tasting notes. So, hints of dark chocolate, molasses, dark fruits, zero burn on the palate, like none. He's a spitter, folks. So there's no burn on the palate. I'm sure it'd be quite the same going down, but it's definitely, there's chocolate and fruity notes. I'm going to read off the description, see how close I was. Dark cocoa, caramel, honey, vanilla. So pretty simple, and that's about what you're going to get in most bourbons, but all in all, it's got really good flavors. And for a company, and I want to say this is batch number 14, but this is the first time I've seen it on the shelf here in East Texas. Let me see if I can get any more notes out of it. It's almost, to me, it's almost like creme brulee. It's got a touch of just char notes, but it's really sweet. Chocolate, dark fruits. All in all, it's a really, really good tasting whiskey. I actually think I'm going to prefer tasting whiskeys like this in a professional manner, because as we know, swallowing the whiskey will inhibit your ability to taste more whiskeys going forward. So, like I said in the last video, I think this is a really good product from a company that does not specialize in bourbons and whiskeys. They're a vodka specialist. Vincent, the head distiller, he's excited about what he does, and he's proud of his product. And I just don't throw my name on anybody's brand. Like there's plenty of brands out there that people love that I'm just not a fan of. So if you find yourself agreeing with me and my tastes over the long haul, if you go back to video 1 and follow me through my journey, 500 plus videos later, and you seem to agree with me, then this might be one that you could pick up one day if you see it on the shelf. So, that's all I got. Don't forget, check the description below, like and subscribe, help out with check the links below for all the ways to help out with the bills around the house. If you like what I'm doing, you want to support, show your support. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the new subscribers, my new patrons. I appreciate your help and your support. What else? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Check out the Bearded Idiots. I think that's it. Bonnie, you got anything? No? Alright, so like always, drink some whiskey, share with your friends and family. Be safe, don't drink and drive, take care, have fun, and we'll see you next time.